Situated about 10 degrees north of the equator, Costa Rica has a very diverse climate and landscape. With over 850 bird species recorded, it is a birdwatcher's paradise. In this short film, I shall attempt to show you a selection of species in a variety of habitats. Hotel gardens and surrounding woodland hold many birds, none so delightful as these hummingbirds. From the magnificent hummingbirds to this pair of white-throated mountain gems displaying. Green violet ear, green-crowned brilliant, white-necked Jacobin and violet-crowned wood nymph all add to the spectacle. We can see here orange-billed sparrow and rufous-capped warbler. More boisterous coming to the feeders is this collared aracari, black-cheeked woodpecker, Passerinus tanager, blue-grey tanager, and the chacalacas. They're joined by this beautiful Baltimore oriole, Montezuma's oripendula, and Hoffman's woodpeckers. At a cafe garden on the edge of woodland, a crimson-collared tanager, a kiskadee and a green toucanet join the birds we are now familiar with. One of the most beautiful birds has to be this violet sabre-winged hummingbird. Keeping an eye on proceedings is this striking summer tanager. A prong-billed barbet also feeds. Costa Rica also has its mammals such as this squirrel, feeding amongst the woodpeckers and the green honey creeper, whilst below there's a grey fox watching. Costa Rica is famous for its protected cloud forests. These forests are important for the resplendent quetzal, which nests in holes in dead tree trunks. Numbers have reduced because of deforestation. This violaceous trogon is a close relative. Amongst the dense foliage, hawks, flycatchers and even a snow-cap hummingbird forage. More obviously, the squirrel cuckoo calls across the trees. Most hotels and cafes have a bird table or a bird garden, and this is no exception. The scarlet-rumped cacique joins the many arasaris. A coati forages underneath the table. Back in woodland, we also find slaty-tailed trogon, chestnut-coloured woodpecker and broad-billed motmot. Even in the centre of towns in Costa Rica there are brightly coloured birds. Around the edge of a cafe, these red-legged honey creepers and blue-grey tanagers feed on bunches of bananas, whilst in a town square we can see black and white owl and even a sloth in a tree. In more open trees we find white-throated magpie jays and scarlet-thighed dacnus. Another striking bird is the blue-crowned motmot. A short distance from a wetland area, a patch of vervain attracts ruby-throated hummingbirds and dragonflies. A turquoise-browed motmot is also spotted. It is November and the wetlands are at their best. The jabiru's nest and a pair of double-striped thicknees only give a taster of what is to come. Thousands of black-bellied whistling ducks come in to roost. This small green heron is joined by hundreds of other herons.
What's that, Louisiana heron?
A wood stork flies in alongside roseate spoonbills. A new day, and the howler monkeys and birds are starting to stir. The egrets from this roost and this tiger heron come down to join other egrets and roseate spoonbills feeding. A limpkin flies off to join them. Seed eaters feed and a green iguana considers its options.
Cows are very photogenic, don't you think? Nice big turkey coming out.
Out on the river, tiger herons feed, jostling for the best fishing spots. Preening on a rock in the middle of this fast-flowing river is a sunbitten. Numbers are diminishing and this elusive bird can be quite difficult to see even on the fast-flowing rivers it favours. A tricoloured heron preens on the bank. Also by the river, as well as crocodiles, we have kingfishers, more tiger herons and some scarlet macaws coming in to roost. Long-time victims of the illegal pet trade, it is good to see these birds flying freely in the wild. Likewise this chestnut-mandibled toucan. This rufous-naped wren is one of about 20 wren species. We can also see white-faced capuchin, pale-billed woodpecker and white-whiskered puffbird. The ferruginous pygmy owl has a very distinctive call. The final area, from river to sea, brings yet more species. Pelicans, cormorants, great blue heron, osprey, white ibises, ringed kingfisher, the appropriately named boat-billed heron, little blue heron, and mangrove black hawk. Although this is only a small proportion of the bird species, I'm sure this is enough to tempt any birdwatcher to visit Costa Rica.